Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about monitoring discourse via API. My name is Usman Ahmad and I'm a senior developer advocate at Grafana Labs. Uh, I work in the open source community in the Grafana, which means that I work with the community forums, with GitHub issues for the users of the community, and also on Slack. And in my previous role, I work mostly in the field of technical support for cloud infrastructure or on-prem basis, and always mostly use Linux as my one of my main working tools. So yeah, and beside work, I have my own YouTube channel. I also write blogs and also try to speak in public events and meetups. And you can find more about me by scanning this QR code. So if you want to connect to me or want to ask questions or just have discussion for coffee, yeah, I will be happy to. So why we are here today? So today I want to share some interesting scenario with you, which we face as a challenge at Grafana Labs, and this is how it goes. So in Grafana Labs, as just discussed, we have open source community users who use our community forums to ask questions, and this is just like a screenshot where you can see like a big category for Grafana, where have subcategories, for example, dashboard, Prometheus, Zabbix, MySQL, and so on. And there are some other product categories as well, like Grafana Cloud, Tempo, Loki, even plugin development as well. And many users ask question on this form, which is really good. This is what we want, like a heavy traffic. But with that also become a challenge that how we can measure where our efforts and resources are going. For example, are we helping the most asked question, or are we helping the right user with the right problem, or for example, uh, is our responses making an impact? Are they are getting marked as solved, or there is no solution? So there are a lot of going on behind the scenes. So since our community form is we use is Discourse, which is an open source community form, Discourse provides some admin reporting tools which are built in, and these are used, for example, to see how many new contributors joins in a day or in a quarter, the top traffic sources, some topics with response, and so on. And here is a small screenshot which you can see that, okay, how many log users, how many anonymous users, which is very much, and some crawlers as well. But this is all good. Like we can get some data, but there is one small problem that we don't get all the data we need for according to our own scenario, because these built-in tools are always based with limited functionality. And for example, at Grafana, one of the challenge is we face is that we want to get data on the quarterly basis, and to do that, we need some way to figure it out. So, and this is bring the question how to monitor the community performance. So as just discussed, like we want our efforts to put in the right place so that that can make an impact for the community. And to measure it, we found something called Discourse Data Explorer plugin. Basically, what it does is that it allows us to write SQL queries for our needs. For example, if I need to fetch data which says I need all the users who are joined in this community form in the last 3 months or in the last quarter, please give me the result, or I want all the result where the user asks about Kubernetes or Docker questions. So yeah, so this allows us to write SQL style queries. It is supported by Discourse, and it has also a API support as well. And this is where things get really interesting. So here is an example to get top 20 posts of the community form. So this is standard SQL practice, like you select some fields and from a table, maybe you do some more filtering or some more joining as well if required, and define like where clauses like I need from this range to that range and so on. And by doing this, we get the result in JSON format. So this Data Explorer plugin gives the data which we need in JSON format. It also supports CSV format, but JSON is more easier to use in our use cases. And yeah, now we have all the data. For example, we get the top 20 posts. We see the first post is this one. then this one based on the views and so on. And this is all good. Yeah, but there is a small problem. This JSON data is only readable maybe by someone who knows technical stuff, who knows how to work with JSON data. It cannot be read by someone who maybe in the product management or in the marketing, they don't know like how to make it more human readable. And there is now another challenge, like how to make it more easy or more readable. And the way we do in Grafana is something like this. This is how we monitor our community performance. So we have dashboards created using Discourse Data Explorer plugin. And here we can see, for example, this is our community form category alerting. And we get results like, okay, topics with no response is like this. The response rate is good. It's in green. And these are the posts which are recently launched in this current quarter. And yeah, and even there are some dashboard which we have created to see like, okay, which top 20 posts which are marked as solved or unsolved, please let us know. And now based on what we have shown, the JSON and looking at this makes a big impact, visual and a meaningful impact for anyone, so it can be understandable by anyone. Yeah, so how we do it, that's a very good question. So how you can also make it? So it's very easy. We have to use Grafana. Okay, you can use Grafana, and Grafana is available in both OSS and enterprise version. There is a small addition I want to say, that Grafana is also available in cloud version, and the only difference beside these two in the cloud is that it provides some more cloud functionalities and features which are like pure cloud based, for example, update and rollback, some automation and so on. But depends on your use case what you want to use, but I just wanted to mention it. Grafana also provide various visualization formats, right? And it only needs to connect to your data source. So this is the cool thing. You don't need to, for example, install Grafana and then configure some sort of a database so that it can read from there. No, it only need a data source endpoint which you can connect to it, and it will read from there. Either it can be, your data source could be on a remote location or on a local host. So that's pretty cool. And the second thing we need for making it complete is the JSON Infinity Plugin, or also known as Infinity Plugin. It is totally free, uh, open source, and it supports various data formats. For example, JSON, GraphQL, CSV, XML, HTML, and some more which are still under development. It is still going in a lot of development, and it is really powerful. And it also supports many Grafana features. What does it mean? It means that it supports, for example, Grafana features like alerting or authentication, or something you can say uh, more like uh, dashboard variables and so on, because not every plugin gives you all the Grafana features as well. So in this case, this plugin, as said, it's going in a lot of development and improvement, so it's supporting more and more features every time. So now we need to configure the data source, right? And there are two steps to configure the data source. The first step to install the Infinity plugin. So Infinity plugin is relatively very easy to install. You just in Grafana you search Infinity plugin in the plugin catalog. It is already available there by default. You just need to click and install it. And once you install it, you need to configure the Discourse API key. This is where you define like from where the Infinity plugin collect the data, right? So this is the API key you need to define inside the plugin configuration. And how is it going to work? So this is how it looks like. Let me explain this picture in a bit more detail. So here you have Grafana and Infinity. So you have Grafana installed, and Infinity is the plugin which is available inside Grafana. You have to simply install it by a click, and you define the Discourse API token in the plugin area. And what you do is that you have to define what posts you want to fetch. So we have previously talked about the Discourse plugin, Data Explorer plugin, which is known as. So The Data Explorer again use the post JSON, use the post method, and we have to send a JSON request, and we send this request to the Discourse cloud. Okay, so the Discourse cloud for us, for example, would be communitygrafana.com, and we are asking, hey, Discourse, give us the result from the Data Explorer for the query number ID 7. And once this response is received, or the request is received, it goes to the Discourse backend. The backend is based on PostgreSQL, and if it is all valid, we should get a response to this request. And how the response look like? It will be something like this. So once everything is fine, we get the response for the query number ID 7, which is, by the way, the query for getting the top 20 posts in a quarter. And we will get that in JSON format, right? And this is all the response. So this looks very easy. And let's try to see how you can also design it. And let's take a quick demo of it. So I have here this live demo open. So this is what it looked like. So here you can see that I'm using some more functionalities here. For example, I have here category variable, and here I get all the categories as a variable in this dashboard. For example, if I want to see the result for the dashboard, the panel will get updated. And now I have a subcategory of dashboard with response rate and topic with no response. And I can also see, okay, which posts are solved and unsolved, right? And I can go and check more further. And also, what you can do more is that uh, here I have also created one more panel here, actually two panel here. What it is doing, it is giving me, for example, results of the last quarter, which were the top 20 solution from the last quarter, or top 20 posts from the last quarter. And the idea to show you is that not only you can create table-based panels, but you can also use different visualization. For example, this is a bar chart, right? And this is a pie chart. So you can use any different chart you want. It depends on you how to do it. As a sample demo, you simply go here in pie chart and you click on, for example, in suggestions, you can get like a pie donut as well. And if I apply, it will look something like this. So this is pretty cool. And yeah. And now let's take a look what we have in the variables. So these are our variables, this one. So we have defined some JSON query here, which are getting result from the Community Grafana uh, uh, Data Explorer plugin. And for example, this is the query number ID and so on. And this is how we get all the subcategories as well. So this is really powerful. And now returning back to the presentation. Yeah, and exactly what I just discussed is that using different panel visualizations. So you can use different visualization. For example, this is a stat panel, this is pie chart, donut, bar chart, and so on. You can even use time series if you have time series data in your query. So this is really helpful and useful. There is one more feature which I really like to explain. It is called troubleshooting. So troubleshooting, yeah, it is a very important part for any software to have support for troubleshooting, because software breaks either by a small recent update or a major upgrade. It always breaks at some point. And Grafana support just develop a new support for troubleshooting. And this is how you do it. So uh, troubleshooting in Grafana is like this. You click on your panel, then you click more and get help. We will have a quick demo of it as well. But what I really want to focus here is that once you do that, you have an option of using randomized data. Now, what does it mean? Currently, I have some data which may contain some maybe a data from a bank or a very private customer details. And I don't want to use troubleshooting to send my data to any outside of my company, either even to Grafana for troubleshoot, for diagnose, and so on. So what I can do is that I can click on these options to randomize like labels, field names, string values. And once I do it, I can download the whole dashboard, which will have pure random data, and send it to the engineers for testing and debugging. And this way, my data will be safe. It will still remain private. I will not break any commitments from the customer, but still get all the help I need to make it working. And let's take a quick demo of it. So here we have, for example, this panel, and or let's take this one because this is more have more titles here. So this is how I do it. So uh, yeah, I click on more. So I click in the on this breadcrumb icon, click more, click get help. And now I can use different labels, different field names and string values. And you can see like now all the string names are changed. So see that everything is in different language, and I can still send all the debug info about my, for example, panel version, what transformation I'm using, what data I have, the Grafana version, and so on. And all the JSON data is also look like uh, as randomized. And I can simply click download. And once I have it, I can send it to the engineers for testing and debugging. So this is really, really nice and easy. Uh, Coming back to the slides. So if you want to get involved, then we will be really happy because we want your feedback and support. And what you can do is that you can report bugs and feature requests on our GitHub repo, which is here, Grafana. Here, the link is also there. Also, some other useful resources for learning and asking questions are our uh, community Slack, where a lot of users help each other, and also and very highly recommended are our community forums, where you even find some very nice and very helpful tutorials or video guides how to do some fancy stuff with Grafana and with this plugin as well. So please join, and thanks for participating. Because there are a lot of tools and technologies used and a lot of things which cannot be covered in this slide. So you can scan this QR code where you find all the documentation to the important links, and you can still ask me question either via email, or if you want to connect with me, you can also connect me via my LinkedIn, and I will be very happy to connect. And yeah, looking forward to to your questions or just to meet up. And yeah, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.